All right, yo, it's back with TJ. We're back at it again, and welcome to the final chapter of the aftermath of Compton University. If you guys are new, man, subscribe, notification if you're new. As you can see where we left off last episode, in which we talked about the son of Donovan Rose, Jackson Rose, in which we talked about his story and his journey to how he got to his point of his senior year. Now we are on signing day, in which Rose has to make a decision, as you guys saw in the thumbnail of this video. All the schools that offered him scholarships, and those are the schools that are coming down to Ohio State, Colorado, Wake Forest, Penn State, Ohio State, Florida, USC, and Compton University are all the schools that Rose is considering to go to for the up and coming fall. So after weeks of consideration, after weeks of thinking about this, he decided to make his announcement on signing day at his school, in which he was with his father, his mother, and his girlfriend, in which he made the announcement, telling ESPN, which they have this live stream, by the way, and same thing with Overtime. This was live stream on multiple social media platforms because the whole college football world was waiting to hear what was this kid's decision. It was just as big of a deal as LeBron becoming a free agent in 2010, choosing to go to Miami. That's how big the signing was. So, Jackson Rose decided for this up and coming fall, he would be attending the University of Compton. Compton University. He would be playing for the Generals in this fall, as he was close to picking up the Ohio State hat until he had it in his hand. He dropped it on the floor. Not on the floor, but on the table, and he picked up the Compton hat. And he said he's going to attend Compton University. Now the crowd went crazy and social media went crazy. Social media was buzzing as he got asked numerous questions by reporters of why did he choose Compton? Why was Compton the decision that you made? Even though a lot of people figured that he would go to Compton, but a lot of people expected he'll go to Ohio State because that was the school he's been leaning on to for the last couple of years. Why would he flip and switch his decision all these years later? Why would he change to go to Compton? Well, here's what Jackson Rose said. I could build something here and create a new generation of football for this university. Think about all the great QBs that went here. Jason Jenkins, Drew Holmes, Jed Hurts, Ty Verricks, Kevin Jermaine. I'll be joining a very high class of some of the best college quarterbacks of all time. No one has dominated the college football world like Compton did. 10 Heismans and 8 national championships. This program was at the verge to achieve even greater heights and even greater things until the incident happened. I, along with everyone at Compton, wants to bring the school back to a powerhouse and show this generation how dominant Compton was and will be. In which he also stated that this decision came actually when Compton was announced. He kind of made his decision already because he kind of figured he was going to go there. He wanted to go there regardless. I mean, the lifestyle and him being on campus for all those years and him being so close to Nipsey Lamar, he didn't want to go to any other program where he didn't really have any chemistry with the head coach. Because he knew if he went to Ohio State, him and Ryan Day, it wouldn't really click the same way as Nipsey and Jackson would. Kind of like how Billy Baker and Spencer James was. The chemistry is unmatched. So if he was to go to Ohio State where Ryan Day was head coach, he would have not been himself. He felt like he would have not been Jackson Rose. But with him going to Compton, he feels like he will be himself. He will be able to fulfill his full abilities and be the player that he wants to be. Also, starting his freshman year, being the first Compton quarterback since Dred Hurts to start his freshman year. And he was the only quarterback. Jackson will now become the second quarterback in Compton University history to be a freshman and starting quarterback. Now, so the social media / sports world was buzzing. They were talking about this for a good ass minute. And a lot of people love the decision that Jackson went to Compton. A lot of people like the fact that, basically a lot of the people that we saw play for the Toronto Dragons and Compton University, all their sons reunited to play at Compton. Meanwhile, some social media critics, they didn't like the decision. They said that Jackson Rose was in over his head and that he'll never be much more than just the mid quarterback playing for a school that was once dominant over 10, 8, 9 years ago. They did that Compton University aren't going to go back to how they was before, and that the whole entire college football world has changed, and that a lot of things has changed since the last time Compton was a school and it was a football program. But the one thing that these haters fail to realize, that the way how college football is played now, that was, like I said in chapter 2, that was all Compton. That was how Compton was. Compton was that dominant offense, mainly focusing on their offense, and had a stacked defense that can come in clutch and make crucial stops, and had a secondary that can get interceptions and return it to a house to the house. Great special teams unit, basically have the best returner of the year every single year, along with Heisman. A decent ground game that could either be that could be unstoppable, but also good, and also can help out the passing, ease up on the passing game a little bit. That's what Compton University football was, and that's basically what college football is now. And the fact that a lot of people are criticizing Jackson and saying that Jackson was better off going to Ohio State, because even though he would not be starter, he would have been, most likely Ryan Day would have not sent him to the Wolves his freshman year. He would have been able to develop. But Jackson didn't want to do that. Jackson wanted to be starter right away, because think about it, he's had the years of development. He knows the college system already from the back of his hand. He knows it. But knowing it and playing it are two completely different things. Like I said, when we compare this to Bronny and how Bronny was, yes, Bronny went through some shit. Which is unfortunate. Bronny went through some shit, and even if after he still averaged 4 points per game, and a lot of people thought this kid didn't deserve to be in the draft, maybe because of his dad. But for Jackson, he wants to prove that. He's seeing how the media is treating Bronny, and he's taking that to heart, because I don't want to deal with that situation. I don't want to be in that same predicament as Bronny, in which people are saying that I don't deserve to be here, when I am better than all of them. I'm better than everybody who's critiquing me. And so is my father. My father is better than any athlete walking on God's green earth. And I'm the best high school player in the whole nation. So why not go to Compton? Why not go to the university that wants to prove that they want to be back on top and they have something to prove? Why not go to Compton, a team that people think that are outdated, that are not going to be back on top? Why go to a school like Ohio State, where some people think they can win the Natty, but, there's still some doubts in them? No. He can go to Compton and align himself with not only his homeboys, the fans, but to a university who feels the same way he feels, who feels that he has to prove something. He has to be the man. He has to show the nation. He has to show the critics. He has to show the media that he deserves to be where he's at, with no doubts, no hesitation, that he is the best. Without further ado, I will see you guys Monday for Compton University's return.